Let me tell you of the days of high adventure. What's up, everybody? We are checking out King Conan today and his throne from Super7 Ultimates, and I couldn't be happier. Let's check out the package for the first piece, which is the throne. So we've got Conan sitting like in the movie. Very, very dope. Those seem to be wolves. Dinner for wolves. Now, that is the logo from the movie. Easily my first or second favorite movie of all time, along with The Sound of Music. Figure not included. Ooh, there's like a bio for the throne in Aquilonian. Blah, 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 at every turn, for the days of when his trusty blade could solve any and every problem. So basically, this is saying Conan is not a guy for politics. Ultimates. Boom! And this is the packaging for the Conan figure. Dark because of the overhang here on the box. I think this thing looks gorgeous. It looks absolutely gorgeous. I want to get the portraits in hand. I want to see what's up with that wrap around the shoulders. That's interesting. Absolutely dope. The Atlantean, I don't know if that's, I think that's the exact same size as the others that we've gotten from the other Conans. Very dope. Conan the Barbarian was born on the battlefield in the far north, the son of the village blacksmith. Now that's like a really high station in a village, you know? It wasn't like some great kingdom, but to be a blacksmith in ancient times, in the far ancient times, you know, that must have been almost something akin to sorcery, you know? Turning rocks into something else using heat. So that's a high station. At least I'm in my mind, I'm wondering. I don't know. I don't have explicit memories of the far ancient savage past in my DNA. Just implicit. Let's check them out. Quick look at the throne packaging. That gold is brilliant. And then you got like the stone underpiece with the carpet. And you got this weapon that, of course, I don't know the name for. It's a spear of some kind, but, you know, I don't know. Wow. Wow. He actually can nail the pose. He can nail the pose. I thought that there might have been some, you know, a little bit of a digital editing or something going on, because typically this is a very, very dynamic pose that you're not going to see out of such a muscular figure, you know? But of course it's Arnold, and so then I guess how stupid of me to doubt it. Here we are. I did know that we had some new sculpting, and we're going to check that out. So let's take a close look at that together. The elbow can touch the thigh. It just dropped a little bit on me. Boom, there we go. Hugging the chin. We got a little bit of daylight there, but it's minimal. For the most part, he holds the pose, and as you can see, he looks straightforward. Now, check out how that's done. I noticed earlier online, I saw some pics, and somebody said, yeah, he comes with two of the same portraits. So I used one for a Mythic Legions, and I was like, that's dope. The guy was like, I dremeled out the head. So now I'm looking at this, and the thing about it is that the portrait it comes with in the package, I wasn't able to make it to the fist. And I was like, damn, it is CGI editing. But then I was like, well, you know what? Let me check the other portrait. And sure enough, the inside is not the same. You see this additional piece here for the back of the scalp or the skull, so that he can have that additional range to look up when he sits. So if he's like this, when he sits down and crouches and looks into his lap with his fist, he'll look down, but you can articulate the head up. So let me show you. But to show you here on the portrait, it can shift and look down for you. But really what we need is that up. You know, so he's looking at the everlasting sky. That is dope. That is dope. I almost said he's looking at Crom, but he is not looking at Crom. Well, he might be looking up at a mountain, right? So anyway, very dope. This thing feels great in hand. I'm gonna say it, the S word, feels sturdy. But first, let's just admire the deco and sculpt here on these pants. Nice gold lines everywhere. Yo, the luster on this metallic gold looks tough. What's this? Oh, I got a little blotch of gold there. We'll get close to 90 if that's not it. This is a new sculpt and mold on these legs. I like it, it works. The belt and loin piece is soft plastic. Big old peg over here to receive the dagger holster or sheath. Love it, bro. So this is this the black sun and the black moon? Is that this? Right? Because you have like the solar flares here fanning over the sun. But then I'm wondering, you see that hard gold line? Is that the sun? And then underneath the other circle, is that the black moon? And so we're missing the snakes now? Or is that actually just an eye? I'm not really sure. I'll do some research on that. Over here, the bone necklace is attached to this. Really cool looking. This is not a cape. It's not a cloak. I don't know what this is, but it's nice. The dagger. Man, that thing is beautiful. I even noticed it in the movie sitting on his lap, and I'm like, damn, that thing is nice. And now here it is. Plastic. Feels good. Won't snap easy. Put that bad boy right in there. Oh, man. It swivels easy, and that is well pegged on. That is not coming out. Oh, man, that looks beautiful. Beautiful. Let's look at the shine. Dun, 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 dun. I like how I can articulate the legs easily, but there's like a tiny, tiny micro ratchet in there or something, and it catches so they don't wiggle everywhere. A little bit of swivel up there, not at the knee. A little bit of rocker there. It's gonna catch on these saddle pieces of these shin guards. Beautiful paint everywhere. That gold is just popping. I don't know what kind of animal this is what I meant to say. I don't know what that is. Let's take the portrait off again. So this shoulder piece comes off. Nice belt back here. It's a nice thick piece of plastic, but it's super soft. I don't know what kind of animal that is. The other wrap, those are wolves. I guess those are, I don't want to say, are they baby wolves? Conan, that's terrible, baby wolves. But it looks really nice, and it sat really beautifully under this and underneath the portrait with no problem. Now, this is the original one that it came with. There's not going to be a surprise, I don't think, this year when I do my top 10. This is, damn, this is a grand slam, man. I mean, it hits the spot. He can do the pose that he's supposed to do. He is what I thought he was going to be. Wow, grand slam. I freaking love Conan. All right, so let's go ahead and take everything off. Let's check out the sculpt nice and close. This is a nice material. It's double stitch. Really thin, fine stitch. Really cool. Looking at the face. No issues with the eyes here. His eyes are just very light, but they're spot on, dead square looking forward. Very, very nice. Over here, the new sculpt. So now we see that he has that really short bicep. Almost as if he was making a muscle. Check that out. And I could probably get more range there. Check that out. This is the Mr. Olympia secret variation here. Boom. And more of the same on the other side. Really dope, man. I think this is the same standard Conan chest and ribs that we've seen. But if you look, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it, but in there, you see how he has like a vacuum of his lower abs? You know, when they suck in their abs like that? That's what he has going on in the sculpt there, and that's what allows for that sit-down elbow pose, because he gets all that action. I'm very impressed that it's so well executed. I thought it was going to be a little bit off. I didn't think he was going to get a perfect pose sitting on the throne, because I just know that it's an uncommon pose to get with action figures. You know, you get it with Mafex figures, but it's just an uncommon pose to get with a lot of toy lines. You know, you're only going to get those poses with a few toy lines. But they nailed it with Conan, and this is generally a typical Motu Classics body style. But here we are, a couple of simple updates. Well, not simple, you know, easy for me to say, but a couple of updates here to the sculpting here. And I'm sure that there's something going on here at the legs, because oh, I see what it is. Check this out. It has slits. Man, that's smart. That fixes the underwear problem, like with Grun and stuff, where this is so high up, you see, like really high into the hip. But here on Conan, with this beefy belt, they have slits here that are going to allow for that articulation. Check it out. The slit collapses and allows him to bring the leg all the way up. Very dope. Very dope. This is a winner chicken dinner. All right, let's look at some other stuff. So Conan comes with his clappers, his slappers and clappers and choppers. And he has fists, which is really dope. You don't usually get fists nowadays. Weapon holding hands. All right, taking a look here. I think this is like a metallic style plastic, but I don't think there's paint on it. Maybe a little bit of a wash around here, but I'm not sure. Still need glasses in 2024. I was fascinated as a kid, and still to this day, man, about the design of that hilt. You know, it's like let me see, did they nail it? Yeah, it's like a volcano that's exploding, and then you got these beasts over here. I think these things are like breaking waves just underneath the mountain. And then up here, you've got like a being, and he's actually doing like that muscle pose, but it's a skeleton. Really interesting stuff, you know? Beautiful, beautiful. I believe that this inscription in here says, carry no guilt, bear no guilt, ye who wields this sword in the name of Crom, or something like that, But it actually does mean something. It's not just some random scratching. So very dope, very dope. Quick close-up there of the throne, and you see how bright the gold luster is. It's like a really, almost like a canary yellow, white yellow gold, and it looks beautiful. 4 legs, same on both sides. This has a softness to it. How cool is that? The spear sword thing up here looks like to me, but it's really nice. It has a nice thickness to it. It's really nice. I'll mess around and fiddle with this and some other action figures too. Really, really dope. There is nowhere to securely stand it beside King Conan. I will say that. I thought it might have had a hole somewhere down here that you can stand it up, but no. But then again, I don't remember if in the movie, was it leaning? Was it leaning on the thing? I'm gonna go back and probably fall asleep watching the movie tonight. Damn, man, that is so dope. They nailed it, bro. They nailed it, bro. They did it. Let me get that a little further back. There we go. Between the years when the oceans drank Atlantis. Quick sidebar before we look at today's themed comparison. I want to talk a little bit about the Atlantean, Thulsa Doom, Conan, and the Riddle of Steel. You know, so we know that according to the belief system, when Conan dies or when somebody dies, they have to go before Crom, and they have to tell Crom the Riddle of Steel. And if they don't know it, Crom will cast them out of Valhalla and laugh at them. We know that according to Thulsa Doom, he told Conan that what is a sword without the hand that wields it? Steel is strong, but flesh is stronger. Look at the strength of your body and the desire in your heart. So according to Thulsa Doom, the answer to the Riddle of Steel is that flesh is stronger, right? But we know that that's not the case. We know that the Riddle of Steel is that the will of a person is the true strength of the sword, right? So at the end of the movie, when Thulsa Doom dies, check this out. Tell me what you think. When Thulsa Doom dies, he goes before Crom. And he tells Crom that bullshit about, look at my power, look at the power of flesh. And then you know what Crom is going to do? Crom is going to laugh at his ass and cast him out of Valhalla. So that means that Thulsa Doom is somewhere wandering in oblivion or purgatory or somewhere like hell because he didn't know the Riddle of Steel. Check that out. I never thought of that before. That's interesting. What do you think about that theory? I mean, it's based on lines from the movie. It's interesting, right? Thulsa Doom didn't know the Riddle of Steel. That bastard is wandering somewhere around, lurking about as a demon, maybe trying to get back into the world. Who knows? Interesting thought there. Let's dress up our Conan. Let's dress up our Conan, and then let's look at today's themed comparison. All right, let's jump right into it. So starting out right away, I will bring out the previous newest action figure in my collection before Conan, and this is Nin Villemir from Savage Crucible. Yo, and these guys are up next. You know that phrase they're always using in basketball? Who's up next? Who's the next Michael Jordan? And we all know it wasn't LeBum Flames. Who's up next? Savage Crucible and Harbinger Studios are up next. Yo, I've had this thing since the day after my birthday last week, and I've basically played with it every time I've come up to the room to sit down and chill and draw or read or whatever. I'm always messing with this guy, man, and I've even taken him outside. And yo, they're up next. They're up next. I'm going to review this figure. I wanted to give it its passes and really get familiar with the figure because I really appreciate the courtesy from Harbinger Studios. So I wanted to give it the really thorough passes. And I'm telling you, these guys are up next. This is Nin Villemir, and he's a lizard man. And he scales wonderfully with King Conan. And who knows, maybe this is the reincarnated form of Thulsa Doom. Next up, I will bring out from Frazetta Girls, Dark Wolf. And that's, yo, the sculpting on this figure is gorgeous. I mean, it just flows. The muscles are so unique. Very dope, wonderful figure. And we're scaling nicely. Next up, from the Motu Masterverse world, that's right, you know it. And I know you're thinking I'm going to bring out Savage He-Man, but I'm not bringing out Savage He-Man. I'll bring out Joe Baena as Savage He-Man. And we'll get him right there. That actually used to be the not Dolph Lundgren portrait from the 89 He-Man, but I painted his hair brown because he looks just like Joe Baena, at least to me. And last but not least, I will bring out Frazetta Conan. Hell yeah, bro. And that's a team pick if I ever saw one. Team pick villain. Super dope, man. Super dope. This is a Grand Slam figure. I'm a Conan guy. This is a Grand Slam. And even this new elbow joint for this classic style upper body, it works absolutely great. Absolutely great. I don't know how the abdomen, the suction abdomen there, I don't know how that'll work with a smaller belt. I don't know how it'll look. But for this Conan, it is absolutely marvelous. And over here with Savage Crucible, they're up next, bro. They're up next. As always, everybody, thank you so much for coming out and sharing in the experience of collecting toys as an adult. And I hope you're able to keep coming back and share some experiences too. Until next time, everybody, don't be the guy that Crom laughs at and casts out of Valhalla. Learn the Riddle of Steel.